What is the policy etiquette of ratting out a program? Like, if you got information, would you share that with somebody, a reporter or the NCAA, if you knew that they were up to something nefarious?
I think what we all would like to say we would do is go straight to the source, which is mean if you had a suspicion that Jim Harbaugh was doing something, you'd go straight to Jim Harbaugh. I know he did that to me. He thought I was involved with a recruit at a time where I couldn't be in phone conversation with him, or I couldn't call the recruit, and he called me out and accused me of it. I said, Jim, absolutely not. The kid called me. It was a kid out of Stockton by the name of Philip Rule, a kind of walk-on fullback that, walk-ons couldn't get into Stanford. So this was a unique guy for him.
Wait, so Harbaugh calls you and says,
oh, yeah, he called me every name in the book saying I was cheating. And I said, you're absolutely out of your mind. I am not. I've got all the phone records. You can see that Phil Rule called me wanting to come to UCLA, but we had it out on the phone. There was nothing going back, give and take. What's amazing, Dan, this guy went to the lengths of bringing all this data. We were back in the Pac-10 at the time, and wanted Pete Carroll to stop having the use of all the Pac-12 officials at his practice. He said he only had a budget for 3 or 4 practices a year, where the Pac-12 officials, Pac-10 officials at the time, would come to his practice, and Pete was having them every day. He could afford to have them every day, and he was going to get this great favoritism from the officials because he was going to create these relationships. And then Pete raised his hand and said, I was the most penalized team in the league. And everybody started laughing. And Jim got so angry, he said, it's the principle of the thing. And it was just like one of these things.
But that's what I'm wondering. His dad was a legendary coach, by the book coach. Like, that's the thing I keep coming back to with Harbaugh. Would he have done this and maybe embarrassed his dad in the process?
I guess the ends justify the means, but this is wildly embarrassing because this is a team that frankly doesn't need it. This team is really good, what he's got. As a matter of fact, he couldn't stop but tell me in Indianapolis at the Big Ten Media Days that this is good. This team's going to break the record of Georgia's most draft choices going to the NFL. He thinks it's going to be somewhere in the 18 to 20 number.